5. It is necessary for women in particular not to display any of their embellishments except before close relatives, attendants, and people of acquaintance. However, exempted from this are embellishments adorned on limbs which are generally never covered, that is, jewelry and makeup worn on the hand, the face, and the feet. In the opinion of this writer, the correct meaning of the Quranic words "illa ma dhahara minha" used to indicate this meaning is the one pointed out by Az-Zamakhshari in the following words: except limbs which a person does not cover generally and instinctively, and they are always left bare. Az-Zamakhshari, Al-Kashaf, Volume 3, page 231. Therefore, barring the embellishments worn on these places, women must hide the ones worn in all other places. So much so, in the presence of men, they should not walk by striking their feet in a manner which draws attention to any hidden embellishments they may be wearing. On these very grounds, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ bade women not to use strong perfumes when they go out. Relatives and people of acquaintance before which the above mentioned display of ornaments is not forbidden are: A. Husband, B. Father, C. Father-in-law. For the latter two relations, the word used by the Quran is Aba. This word not only implies the father, but also the paternal and maternal uncles and grandfathers. Therefore, a lady can display her embellishments before adults of both her maternal and paternal family and those of her husbands, just as she can before her father and father-in-law. D. Sons. E. Sons of the husband. F. Brothers. G. Brothers' sons. H. Sisters' sons. The word son implies the grand and the great-grandsons, both maternal and paternal ones, without any discrimination of real or step relations. The same implies for the sons of brothers and sisters. In these relations also, the sons of real, step, and foster brothers and sisters are understood to be included. I. Women of acquaintance and maids. It is evident from these words that unknown women should be treated the same way as men, and a Muslim lady should be very careful in displaying her concealed embellishments before them. The reason is that at times a woman can have sexual leanings towards her own gender. Similarly, at times, being influenced by the physical features and attributes of other women, they become a means of inclining men towards these women and vice versa. J. Slaves. The institution of slavery existed in Arabia in the times of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The words used in the above quoted verse while referring to this institution are "ma malakat aymanuhunna." Some jurists have understood this expression to only mean slave women. However, there is no reason for this exception. Writes Imam Amin Ahsan Islahi. Had only slave women been implied by this expression, then the appropriate words would have been "aw ama'ihin." A common expression that connotes both slave men and slave women would never have been used. Moreover, the verses already mention the category which, as has been explained, includes both women with whom one is generally acquainted as well as slave women and maid servants. After a mention of this category, an independent mention of slave women is needless. Amin Ahsan Islahi, Tadabbur-e-Quran, Volume 5, page 398. K. People who live in a house as dependents and because of their subservience or owing to any other reason are incapable of feeling any attraction towards women. L. Children who are as yet unaware of sexual matters. 6. Since the chest of women is a means of sexual attraction and also there may be jewelry worn around the neck, they are further directed to cover their chests with a cloak on such occasions. In this way, the neckline shall also be covered as much as possible. If by some other means than the cloak this purpose is achieved, then this cannot be objected to either. The real objective is that women must not reveal their chest and neckline before men. On the contrary, These should be concealed in a manner that neither do they nor any embellishments worn on them become prominent in any way. The surah also mentions certain other clarifications regarding these norms. Firstly, slave men and women and sexually immature children who generally frequent a house are not required to take permission every time they enter private rooms. They are just required to seek permission in 3 specific times of the day: before the Fajr prayer, when the residents are generally in bed; during the nap in the afternoon, when they may not be wearing proper clothes; and after the Isha prayer, when they go off to bed for sleep. These 3 periods of time require privacy. If someone suddenly enters a private room in these times, he may see the residents in an appropriate state. Barring these 3 times of the day, sexually immature children and slave men and women can enter the private rooms and other areas of the house without taking any permission. This then cannot be objected to. However, in the above mentioned 3 times, they must seek permission when they want to enter a private room. Also, children, once they reach sexual maturity, must seek permission at all times. The fact that they have been frequenting the house ever since their childhood is not reason enough for them to continue with the exception granted to them. Consequently, once they reach this age, they must follow the regulations that pertain to all. Quran says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليستأذنكم الذين ملكت أيمانكم والذين لم يبلغوا الحلم منكم 3 مرات من قبل صلاة الفجر وحين تضعون ثيابكم من الظهيرة ومن بعد صلاة العشاء 3 عورات لكم ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبلهم كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته والله عليم حكيم. Believers, let your slave men and women and those who are underage ask your permission on 3 occasions when they come in to see you: before the Fajr prayer, when you have put off your garments; in the heat of the noon; and after the Isha prayer. These 3 occasions are times of your privacy. At other times, it shall be no offense for you or them, because you go around visiting one another. Thus God explains to you His verses, and God is all-knowing and wise. And when your children reach the age of mental maturity, let them still ask your permission as their elders do. Thus God explains to you His verses, and God is all-knowing and wise. Surah number 24, verses 58 and 59. Secondly, the directive of covering the chest and the neckline does not pertain to old women who are no longer of marriageable age, on the condition that their intention is not to display their ornaments. It is not necessary for a woman to cover her chest and neckline in the age in which she generally loses her sexual urge and in which a man feels no attraction for her. So, in the presence of men, old women can dispense with the cloth that covers the stipulated area. However, what is more pleasing in the sight of God is that even in this age they be careful and not dispense with this garment. The Quran says, وَالْقَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ اللَّاتِي لَا يَرْجُونَ نِكَاحًا فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْهِنَّ جُنَاحٌ أَن يَضَعْنَ ثِيَابَهُنَّ غَيْرَ مُتَبَرِّجَاتٍ بِزِينَةٍ وَأَن يَسْتَعْفِفْنَ خَيْرٌ لَهُنَّ وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And it shall be no sin for aged women who have no hope of marriage to discard their cloaks on the condition that they do not display their embellishments. And if they exercise caution, it is better for them, and God hears all and knows all. Thirdly, it is explained in these verses that there is absolutely no harm if people and their relatives who are disabled or impaired in any manner come and visit one another, and whether men and women among them, each together or separately, in their own houses, of their fathers or grandfathers, mothers, brothers and sisters, of their paternal uncles and aunts, maternal uncles and aunts, of people who are financially dependent on them, and of their friends' houses. Indeed, when they enter such houses, they must greet the residents in the prescribed way. The Muslim religious greeting, Assalamu alaikum, is in fact a beautiful invocation to the Almighty to strengthen personal relationships. The norms of social interaction that are outlined in these verses are not meant to deprive people of mutual support or to curtail their social freedom. If people show prudence, they can maintain all these relationships even after following these norms. They must not think that these directives are meant to put them through difficulties. The Almighty does not intend to prohibit social interaction in any way. The Quran says, ليس على الأعمى حرج ولا على الأعرج حرج ولا على المريض حرج ولا على أنفسكم أن تأكلوا من بيوتكم أو بيوت آبائكم أو بيوت أمهاتكم أو بيوت إخوانكم أو بيوت أخواتكم أو بيوت أعمامكم أو بيوت أماتكم أو بيوت أخوالكم أو بيوت خالاتكم أو ما ملكت مفاتحه أو صديقكم ليس عليكم جناح أن تأكلوا جميعا أو أشتاتا فإذا دخلتم بيوتا فسلموا على أنفسكم تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تعقلون. There is no harm if the blind, the lame, and the sick eat at your table, nor if you eat in your own houses, your fathers, your grandfathers, your mothers, your brothers, and your sisters, your paternal uncles, your paternal aunts, your maternal uncles, your maternal aunts, or of those who are financially dependent on you, or your friends. There is no harm if men and women eat together or apart. However, this much you should do, that when you enter a house, say, Peace be to you, a blessed and noble invocation fixed by God. Thus, God explains to you His revelations so that you may grow in wisdom. Surah number 24, verse 61.